Public Works is working to repair some buses for the island's school children. Here to give us an update is the Superintendent of Transportation and Maintenance, Paul Cepeda. Thank you so much for coming on. First, Paul, maybe you can tell us, what's been going on since, I know that we had a shortage earlier last year. Tell us about what's been done since.
Well, since the Public Law 30-26 was passed, at the time we had like 92 buses operational. At this time, we have about 110 school buses. With the fundings we got, we've been ordering parts, materials, and supply to get the buses up. We have a contract for $800,000 for maintenance and repair of the school buses, which is pending the AG's approval. We also have a contract for parts, materials, and supply, so make the process a lot easier for us to order or purchase parts. We're still pending some parts that we had ordered, but as you know, here in Guam, the shipping is the biggest thing. So it takes 4 to 6 weeks just for a simple part to come in, because most of the parts we need are not stocked on island. We completed a PM service to date. We did 110 school buses, preventive maintenance, oil change, fuel filter, air cleaner, lubing, greasing. That's completed on the school buses. However, we've been finding out lately other problems that we didn't see in the beginning, which is the flooring, which is the bus we're working right now behind us, B160. The flooring is starting to rot. It's a wooden floor. It's metal with wood on top, so the wood is starting to rust, and we noticed that on a lot of the buses that we have, and also the entrance steps are going out. So we're taking the worst ones down first, repairing them, then we're going to put them back out on the road. Turnaround time for that is about a week or two, but then again, depending on the floor mats, we have to special order the floor mats. That could take up to 4 weeks to come in. So we can strip the floor, put new boards on, but we have to wait for the bed. The matting on it. Then we'll be done.
What are some of the challenges, I guess, your division is faced with? Do you have enough manpower? Is it hard to be getting in some of these materials?
Part of it is the materials, getting in the materials. That's the hardest part, 4 to 6 weeks. As far as manpower, yes, we are very short. I'll give you a good example. The semi-heavy shop who takes care of the school bus, the maintenance and repair. Once upon a time, there were 16 mechanics in that shop. There are 8 substations in the field, bus satellites in the field, and then the shop to take care of. Now we only have 6 mechanics, 2 of them of which are borrowed from other shops. And do the math, 8 substations, 1 shop, that's 9, plus 6 mechanics. And now they're thinking, because the Agate substation and Tabuning substation is here in the compound, so I have 1 mechanic handling Agate, Tabuning, and the shop. So now there's discussions about opening Agate substation, of course, down in Agate, to save on gas and wear and tear in the school buses. And I've expressed my concerns to the director that if we open Agate, I would have no mechanic to cover Agate substation. It's bad enough in Arahan is sharing the mechanic with Jonia. So in Arahan, Jonia has 1 mechanic. The rest of the stations out there are lucky. Dedido, Jigu, Ordot, and Bergara has their own mechanics stationed there. But the other stations, it just spread out, and that's one of the biggest challenges. But my mechanics from the Laredo shop have been very helpful. There's only 2 there. There's 3 in the shop, but 2 have volunteered their time to help the bus mechanics whenever they need it. Whenever the help is needed. So that can alleviate some of the pressure, but still, in order for me to run the shop properly and maintain the buses the way it should be, and having 2 shifts instead of 1 mechanic, 1 shift for the mechanics, I will need at least 14. That will cover the first shift, because they come in at 5:30 and leave at 2. So from 2 to the time the bus secures at 6 o'clock, I have no one to cover that shift. So I have no alternative but to call my guys in either CTO, or if we're lucky we have the money for overtime, then we pay them overtime. But right now, thank God for the public law that passed. We do have money for overtime, so they're being covered as they come in after 2 o'clock. But that's one of the biggest challenges we're working on. We understand the economy, and how things are going now with Guam. So we're just trying to deal with what we got right now.
What are some of maybe the recurring problems on some of these buses? What are some of the things that are, of course, the wear and tear, but what are some of the things that are most of the problem with as far as the buses are concerned?
Right now, the main thing is the tires. We have to change the tires. So majority of the buses, twice a year we have to change the tires. That's $3,000 per bus per year just on tires alone. But one of the main things that have been going out, it varies from fuel pump to now we're noticing a lot of kingpins that are going out in the school buses. That's because of the, to be honest with the past, the lack of the greasing and all that. So we're noticing a lot of kingpins going out. That takes at least a good 4 to 6 hours just to repair. You know, it's not an easy job, and without the proper tools, it takes a lot longer. So, you know, and the PM, like I said, is done. We're hoping that the next fiscal year we have the right fundings to continue the PM. If not, you know, we're going to be back to square one. And we have the buses that I mentioned about going out for contractor repair. There's 22, I believe, going on contractual. Out of those 22, actually all 22 needs engines because of the lack of maintenance. That was the lack of PM service on the buses. So it came down to that. So those 22 are all for engines. Sadly, they're all for engines. It could have been saved. It could have been less than that if they had the funding to the proper PM service on it.
And last comments, you know, we have a new director, a new governor. What are you hoping, and a new legislature, what are you hoping, you know, could be done to help and maintain these buses?
The main thing is with our director and our deputy, they're very, very supportive when it comes to maintenance, and that's very rare you see in a director, because usually maintenance is the last thing that everyone sees. They don't care about maintenance, so it breaks down. Then all of a sudden, why can't you fix it? But the director and the deputy have been supportive of maintenance. I just hope that the legislature and the governor sees the need for the funding to fund the school bus properly. I mean, they're talking about education, health, and welfare. I strongly feel that public works should fall under the education portion, because to me, education starts at the not just at the doorsteps of the school, but at the bus stop. Because if you can't get your kids from the bus stop to school, how are they going to learn? So I've been asking the director, can you please put us as part of education? You know, and she's very supportive of that. So I'm hoping that they look at that and treat us as such, that we are important because of the school kids. And like I always tell the director, you know, we're not holding trash. We're holding our futures to school, you know, and they deserve that education. Without the buses, it won't happen.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.